and a very big welcome to this, our special Cherry Blossom Festival. Oh, and yes, in case you didn't realize, Sakura is the Japanese term for cherry blossom. I'm Andy, Head of Global PR here at Wendy Reuters, and I am super excited to be your host today at this amazing party. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our special party today would not be complete without one very special lady, a lady who 26 years ago set about organizing her first tour to China, which was actually the very start of Wendy Reuters. Now one of travel's most influential people in the UK, Australia and New Zealand. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's Wendy Wu. So Wendy, great to see you today.
Great to see you too, Andy. And great to see everyone here.
Now, Wendy, I've got to say, coming in today, I saw lots of cherry blossom trees everywhere. So tell me, why is Sakura such a big deal?
Andy, the cherry blossom tree you see here and the cherry blossom you see in Japan is completely different for 3 reasons. First of all, that the sakura in Japan is absolutely magnificent. And it is one of the greatest natural spectacles in the world. Number 2, it is completely embedded in Japanese culture and philosophy. It celebrates not only the stunningness, but the briefness and the shortness of life. From the cherry blossom, from its budding to blooming, the hues and the color, to its falling off gently like snow over you with all the special scent. It is magic. So that's the culture. And plus, it is a time of restart and gathering. So it's a natural and a cultural event and a phenomenon. That's the reason why the whole world rushed to Japan to see it every year, Andy.
And Wendy, as the UK's #1 tour operator to Japan, the burning question that we all want to know today is, when are we going to be able to travel to Japan?
What a good question, Andy. The Japanese government certainly doing everything they can to showcase Japan join the Olympics. And they also have the desire to showcase and open the gate to all the visitors from all over the world. So hopefully they hope to be able to open Japan for October and November at least, which during that time, Japan will welcome all the visitors with another spectacle, which is the autumn color, as bright and as brilliant. So therefore, if you can go, the earliest is October, November. But if you have to miss that time, then also if you want to see cherry blossom, then make sure you don't miss it next year, because after all, we missed it for 2 years now.
So ladies and gentlemen, cherry blossom, we've missed it now for 2 years, 2 long years. But not just that, we've not been able to travel anywhere. No international travel at all. So Wendy, with no one traveling in the last 18 months, it must have been pretty quiet for you.
Not at all, Andy. Travel is our passion, and the travel is what brings you to us and us to you. Travel is what we do. So through the last 18 months, I actually was invited to BBC many times to give insight and commentary on the ever-changing and evolving situation of the COVID and its impact on travel. I was so happy to share my confidence, resilience, and my hope for this devastated industry and the audience. And I felt always positive and passionate. Then, in September last year, that the British Travel Award awarded us as the best escorted touring company. And also we won the best East Central Asia touring company and the best Southeast Asia touring company. We are very proud As you know, unlike many other companies, they send hundreds of thousands of passengers to the neighboring countries such as Spain, Italy, and Turkey. We only send people to iconic faraway land. So we don't send 100,000. We don't have so many votes. So how did we win? It is quoted that during the COVID situation, when the world was closing down around us, our team did a fantastic job to expatriate all the passengers around the world, brought them back not only safely and comfortably, but while they are still at the destination and when everything is closing down, we still ensured they enjoyed and was able to experience wonderful, warm hospitality and the greatest looking after. That's why we won. We are very proud. Then in January, that the travel industry, the Oscar of the travel industry, the Globus, awarded us for the 11th consecutive year the best specialist tour operator in the industry. Once again, it is quoted that we developed most authentic and extraordinary experiences for our customers. And it is voted, the Globus is by the travel professionals. So they are all wonderful. And of course, that during that year, because no one traveled, and many companies have to stay hibernate and stay down because there's no travel, no income. But we are not like that. We love travel. So my hardworking and passionate team, they did what they loved most. They work very closely with our local partner and made the tours even more enjoyable, and plus worked out the pioneering COVID protocol to make the tour even safe in the future. And Andy, in addition to that, we actually connected with our customer even more because they can't travel. So like the party today, we have done more than 30. So we are always engaged with them and sharing the most inspiring new things and updates. And we talked with them more than ever before. And it's through this type of talking, they told us, Wendy, not only we want to travel with you to Asia, we want you to take us to area outside of your normal. For example, Israel, Jordan, and Egypt. And I said, you know what, there's plenty of a company already do that. Why do you want us to take you there? And they said, because they prefer the way we do things, which is dig out the most authentic experience and combined with the best of culture and history and the tradition, plus the best personal service into one. And that's really why we want to. So for that reason, not only we put the best tours together and developed our latest range of the best tours, which is very unique in the industry, which is latest for Central Asia and for China and Japan, Southeast Asia and India. But we actually expanded into Middle East, which now in our Central Asia brochure. If you have not ordered one, please order one because they are the latest with the most innovation and best new tours. Now that, and you can say, we have been very busy. And, you know, for us, we have sharpened our skills and get ready, the whole team. We did not sit still. And we sharpen our skill, get ready, and we can't wait. And we are looking forward to welcome you to our tour, our very best tours when travel returns. So therefore, and it is still an exciting and energetic year. Doesn't matter what happens because the fire of travel, the dreams of travel lives on.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Sakura is big in Japan. I mean, really big in Japan. Can you imagine what it must feel like to be in Japan right now, enjoying this amazing spectacle? Yes, I know, just thought, we can't be there in person right now. How I wish, just like you, we could. But Wendy Wu Tours, we can always work our magic. Here to show us the utterly fabulous Sakura 2021. It's over to Japan and our team in Japan. Konnichiwa, guys.
Nice to have you virtually traveling with us today. I would like to share with you the cultural significance of Sakura. Welcome to Tokyo in cherry blossom season. My name is Hiki. This is one of the wonderful times to be in Japan and also a time of huge excitement. Every year in Japan, around this season, focused on when the flowers will bloom, the best viewing spots and timing are huge topics of conversations and fill the news headlines. Every spring, Japanese people make effort to see Sakura, and Sakura also plays an important role in Japanese culture, reflected in the country's songs, poems, art, and ceremonies. Due to the climate, the best timing of seeing Sakura is different depending on each regions and cities. Sakura is usually bloomed from the end of March to the beginning of April in Tokyo and Kyoto in main island of Japan. But if we go to north, Sakura is seen from the beginning of May. So if we follow the Sakura blooming, we can travel all over Japan.
Hello everyone, my name is Sakano and we make all the arrangements for Wendy Wu Tours here in Japan. We're shooting this video from Sumida River in Tokyo. This really is one of the most wonderful times to be in the country and is a time of huge excitement. After the chilly and dark winter, the Japanese people are waiting for this mild and bright spring to come. And the cherry blossoms, Japan's national flower, is a symbolic element that brings the promise of new life and new beginnings. Cherry blossoms bloom at different times depending on the area, but in general they usually bloom from late March until early April in Tokyo, but only for a very short time of more or less 10 days or so. We really wish to have you here with us to see the beautiful cherry blossoms, the symbolic flower for the Japanese people. Unfortunately not for this blossom, but hopefully in the very near future. I'm here to share with you some of the local customs Japanese people have in relation to cherry blossoms. Cherry blossom viewing in Japan, which we call hanami, is a huge event for us Japanese. It first started in the Nara period of Japan's history, about 1,000 years ago, when the emperor started throwing picnics and flower viewing parties, and has become a tradition now, which is celebrated every year. More cherry blossom trees were planted to encourage the hanami picnics and inspired poets, musicians, and artists to write, sing about, and illustrate their beauty. We picnic on all kinds of local food with beer and sake to have fun with our friends and our loved ones under the blooming trees. Unfortunately, this year hanami will be much lower key than usual, but we're still embracing it as symbolic of more positive times for Japan and the rest of the world. Not only spring, but also the winter, summer, and autumn have their own unique charms and celebrations. We hope you can come over to enjoy these moments with us, and we are all eagerly waiting for you. Thank you very much, everyone, and thank you, Wendy Wu Tours.
Wow, utterly amazing. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, fresh from Japan. Sakura 2021, and it's happening right now.
Yes, Andy. We can't wait for our own UK's Sakura, which is the UK summer. Now, the lockdown has been eased, and I hope and I believe one day soon that we will be able to visit our grandparents and our grandchildren, and people can reunite and friends visit each other, and we can hug and kiss and life go back to normal. And above all, that we can go back and enjoy our wonderful travel, Andy, right?
Absolutely, Wendy. I couldn't agree more, and I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, you agree as well. But right now, it's time to sit back, relax, forget about everything, and let us transport you to the wonderful world of Japan. It's over to Peter Crane, our Global Product Director, who's taking us on a very special journey.
Hello, my name is Peter Crane. I'm Product Director here at Wendy Wu Tours, and it's my pleasure to welcome you in this cherry blossom season to one of our favorite destinations in the world, Japan. Whether you visit Japan in March or April for the springtime cherry blossom season, or choose to travel in the equally spectacular autumn leaf season in September and October, when Japan's famous ornamental gardens are arguably at their very best, Japan is the destination that apparently has it all, a quite extraordinary history and cultural traditions like no other, exquisite art and exquisite architecture. Sensational food, where every mouthful seems designed to offer up a different taste, and landscapes that are famous the world over, including this site, the iconic and perfectly symmetrical silhouette of Mount Fuji, Japan's highest point and regarded by many as its spiritual heart. So today I'd like to introduce you to the most popular of our 11 escorted group tours in Japan. This is a 17-day tour called Japan Uncovered, which in our view will show you the very best this country has to offer in a 2-week holiday. Starting in Osaka, the tour takes in the cultural highlights of Nara, Miyajima and Kyoto, then heads north to the Japanese Alps, and where we experience the beauty of the rural landscapes of Kanazawa, Takayama and Nagano, before exploring the equally spectacular region around Mount Fuji and ending the tour at Tokyo, a capital city like no other. We travel mainly by coach, following the normal Wendy policy of allowing 1.5 seats per passenger, and occasionally by bullet train as well, as I'll describe. The tour is escorted by a driver and a national guide, whose job it is to take care of you and all the logistics of the tour, from organising the excursions, the meals, and everything else. The tour is fully inclusive, so you don't have to worry about paying extra for meals, for excursions, or any of the many other activities included in the tour. We start in Osaka, Japan's 3rd largest city, with a reputation for its flamboyance, its fun-loving people, and most of all, for its food. The street food here is out of this world, with local specialities like Okonomiyaki, a Japanese-style savoury pancake made from shredded cabbage, green onion, and often added pork and other seafood fillings. From Osaka, we visit nearby Nara, the first recognised capital of Japan, with no less than 8 UNESCO-listed historical sites. And also this place, pictured here, Osaka Castle, built in 1583 in a lovely hilltop location overlooking the whole city of Osaka. The following day, we drive west to Himeji Castle. This castle is older still. It dates back to 1333. Of all the castles in Japan, this must be the most impressive for its size and for its beauty. Locally, it's known as the White Heron Castle, and the lines of the architecture, along with its painted white exterior, do make it feel as light as a bird taking off. On a more somber note, we pause at Hiroshima to reflect on the devastation caused by the first atomic bomb in August 1945, but also to admire the way the city has since been rebuilt and now thrives as the leading city in southwestern Japan. From Hiroshima, we visit the nearby island of Miyajima and the lovely Itsukushima Shrine with its very famous floating torii gate. Now, a highlight of any tour to Japan is to travel by bullet train at speeds of up to 320 kilometers an hour or 200 miles per hour. On this tour, we use the bullet train to reach Kyoto, the cultural heart of Japan. Kyoto was the capital city for over 1,000 years and still home to many of Japan's most iconic traditions, such as the custom of the geisha, the wearing of the kimono, and the very precise rituals of the tea ceremony. All of these we'll experience during our time in Kyoto. Kyoto is also home to the highest density of shrines and temples anywhere in Japan. For example, the stunning but minimalist Kinkakuji Temple, also known as the Golden Temple, set in its tranquil gardens and surrounded by water to show off the golden reflections. Perhaps the most spiritually evocative place we visit in Kyoto is the Fushimi Inari Shrine. It's in a beautiful setting with 10,000 vermilion painted torii gates. These gates represent the journey from the everyday world into the spiritual world. Driving north, we come to Kanazawa and visit Kenrokuen. This is one of the so-called three great gardens of Japan. These traditional Japanese gardens are designed very specifically to combine plants, rock, and water to create simple and clean lines for the eye to enjoy, reflecting tranquility and peaceful contemplation. Next, we venture into the Japanese Alps. This is a mountainous belt that stretches right across Japan's main island, Honshu, from east to west. And we drive first to the town of Takayama, pausing along the way to explore this town, pictured here, Shirakawago, with its traditional 300-year-old thatched farmhouses. As you see from the picture, the pitch of the farmhouse roofs is very steep, and this is because this is one of the snowiest regions in the whole of Japan, where normally in a normal winter they'd expect 10 meters of snowfall. We stay nearby at Takayama, a traditional mountain town with many of its Edo period buildings still upright and still intact. And this area here, Takayama, is also famous for its beef. It's said to be the best beef in Japan, possibly in the world. The cattle is reared in the local area in the pristine mountain wet meadows, and for that reason is absolutely delicious. And we'll definitely get a chance to try it. We also visit the nearby 16th century Matsumoto Castle. This is known as the Crow due to its very dark wooden exteriors. Now, this more rural region of Japan is also perfect for getting close to some of Japan's deep-rooted traditions. We visit, for example, a miso house to learn about how to make miso paste, the staple ingredient in Japanese cuisine. We also go to a wasabi farm, pictured here, to learn about how wasabi is produced. Plus, we learn how to make washi paper in the traditional Japanese way, and we visit a samurai house to learn the culture and customs of the samurai. From Nagano, the city that hosted the 1998 Winter Olympics, we make a side trip to visit the Japanese macaques, better known as the snow monkeys, at Yudanaka, bathing in their hot springs. These are the most northern dwelling of all the monkey species in the world, and can only manage in these climates because of the thermal springs. These snow monkeys are famous for their intelligence. They've learned not only how to stay warm in the thermal waters, but also how to wash their food before eating it. And they sometimes even roll snowballs just for fun. From the Japanese Alps, we head south to Mount Fuji, Japan's highest mountain at 3,776 meters. This iconic mountain is intimately connected with so many aspects of Japan's history, its culture, and its identity. We spend a full day in the area with a cable car ride from Hakone and a boat trip on Lake Ashi, both with lovely views of the mountain and the surrounding landscapes. Finally, the tour ends at Tokyo with 2 full days to take in the best of the city. Few other places combine the ultra-modern and the ancient so effortlessly as Tokyo. We visit the 634-meter high Tokyo Skytree, the tallest tower in the world and the second tallest building in the world, with stunning views out across the city in all directions. We also walk over the iconic Shibuya crossing, symbol of modern Tokyo, and where up to 3,000 pedestrians can cross the road simultaneously. But there's time too to visit old Tokyo. For example, the Himeji Temple, pictured here, which dates right back to the 7th century. This is the oldest and most sacred site in the city. So that brings us to an end of the Japan Uncovered tour. Because the tour is so varied and so comprehensive, it has become our most popular tour to Japan, as I said. Some of the departures in autumn this year and spring next year are already full or close to full. Just to remind you, the tour is 17 days long, it's fully inclusive and costs from £6,690 per person. And as our guests at the show today, you can book on one of our 3 amazing offers, which my colleague John will tell you about in more detail later. So all that remains for me is to say thank you very much for your time today and to wish you all a happy Sakura or happy cherry blossom season. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. So we know that Wendy Wu tours, our tours, are very good value for money. However, we are going a step better today. And we have the following offers available just for you that have attended our event today, our Japan event, to celebrate the cherry blossom. So what can you get? Well, you can either get a return free economy flight on most of our tours to Japan, a free economy flight. Now that's worth over £800 per person. Alternatively, you can choose to upgrade your flight to business class for one way for free. So you can have that as an offer. And why not? Listen, we've waited long enough. We've suffered enough. Let's go and enjoy and celebrate by us offering you a free one-way business class upgrade. That is worth over £1,400 per person. An incredible offer, £1,400 per person. Alternatively, if you're traveling as a single person, you can have 50% off your single room supplement. A choice of 3 wonderful offers. Now, we're going to give you some time to think about these. These offers need to be booked by the 14th of April. But remember, if you're thinking of going to Japan during the cherry blossom season, so is the rest of the world. So don't delay. Make sure you try and get something booked up as soon as you can. Also, we're going to make life a little bit easier for you by enabling you to book at a very low deposit of £99 per person, with the balance payable 6 weeks before departure. We will also allow you 1 free travel date change if you need to make that change as well. And of course, we mentioned earlier on how we're pioneering our travel safe and the protocols we've put in place to make sure that we keep you safe. So I'm not sure we can do any more than that. The offers are there. Please, please, please take advantage of them. They are the best offers that we have ever had. They are the best offers we will ever have, but they're only bookable until the 14th of April. Thank you very much. My name is John. I'm the Global Sales Director at Wendy Wu Tours. What a fantastic tour our Japan Uncovered is. A really tour focusing on the main highlights on the island of Honshu. And what a wonderful time to go as well to see the cherry blossom in Japan. But Japan is popular all year round. In fact, if you have a look at this shot here, taken in autumn, you know, sort of around the October time, you can see why Japan is also very popular during September, October, and November as well. So Wendy Wu Tours, we haven't become the biggest fully escorted tour operator to Japan just on the basis of having 1 tour. In fact, we have got 11 tours to Japan, covering from 8 days to 21 days. We also have got 4 tours for solo passengers, anyone that wants to travel on their own as part of a group. But a lot of our single customers or solo customers also choose to travel on our fully escorted tours as well. So you're going to be made very welcome by the rest of the guests, I'm sure, but also by our guide. But we do have 4 specific solo tours for anyone who wanted to join a solo tour. So much to see and do in Japan, and that's why we have created 11 different tours. And what I'd like to do today is just give you a little sense of what some of those other tours covered. So I want to talk about Japan and the scenic south. I want to talk about Japan by rail, which is a longer tour. I want to talk about Offbeat Japan, which is a sort of also an immersive tour. And also, for those that have got time, why not visit both China and Japan on the same tour? So let's talk a little bit about Japan and Scenic South. Well, as we said earlier, Japan Uncovered focuses on the main island of Honshu. And on this particular tour, 13-day tour, you're going to start off on Kyushu, the island of Kyushu, and by flying into Fukuoka. Now we've got one departure left for 2021, which will be in October, and 2 departures in 2022. So if you want to join this tour, if you like a little bit want to hear about the tour, then you can join the tour on the 1st of April, which will enable you to take advantage of the cherry blossom as well, and also in October 2022. Okay, so 1st of April 22 and October 2022 as well. So what's so special about Fukuoka? Why have we chosen to take you there on Kyushu? Well, first of all, Fukuoka is a cradle of culture. Why is it so? The city faces Korea and China, and because of that, it has become a channel of outside influence, if you like, across the sea. What do you expect to see from the store? Where you're going to see this wonderful garden here, traditional gardens. You're going to cruise on the Yangawa River. You're going to take in the castle of Kumamoto, which is a 17th century castle. And then you're going to head off and see Mount Aso, ASO, Mount Aso. By the way, this is an active volcano, really stunning scenery, as you can see for yourself. And actually, the volcano has got a circumference of 100 kilometers as well. This area is an area of natural beauty. This is Beppo, by the way, with its natural thermal baths and hot springs as well. Really, really gorgeous. Beg your pardon. And further down, you'll go to the temple of Rurkoji as well, really important in Buddhism too. So if you have a look at the tour, you will see that I've only talked about the southern part of the tour. Peter would have covered areas like Hiroshima, Himeji, Kyoto, Mount Fuji, Hakone, and Tokyo as well. So on all our tours, what we will do outside Japan Uncovered is we will give you those highlights, those main highlights, those must-sees in Japan, plus, if you like, for those that want to go a little bit further, we will take you a little bit further and show you a different part of Japan. So that's one of our tours. Japan by Rail is also a classical tour. It's a fully inclusive tour. That means that your breakfast, lunch, and dinner is included. All your travel, international and local travel is included in the price, as is your hotel and guiding and everything else. And that's why for 21 days, this is exceptionally good value for money at 8,990 per person. So you're going to be traveling, of course, as you'd expect, by bullet train throughout the country from south to north. And this really follows a bit of a trail that Joanna Lumley did on her tour to Japan, which is very popular. I know the majority of you would have probably seen it. She kind of started in the north up in Hokkaido and traveled all the way south. So what is there to see on this tour? Well, this is Nagasaki. Really, really stunning gardens in Nagasaki as well. And you're going to experience on this tour ancient sort of traditional Japanese culture as well. By the way, we have a departure date of October 2021 on this one, and then also 2 departure dates on the 28th of March 2022 and also 24th of October 2022. So if you're thinking of next year, and I absolutely would, bearing in mind there is pent-up business, you know, people are desperate to travel. They haven't been to Japan either this year or the year before, not just from the UK, but globally as well. Then I would certainly not wait too long if you have made a decision to travel to Japan. And I think Japan is an absolutely must-see for everybody, to be honest with you. So this is the beautiful gardens in Nagasaki. Of course, you've got Hiroshima here, and we will visit Hiroshima, the Peace Memorial as well, where you have an opportunity to pay homage, if you like, to those that died in the Second World War. Island of Himeji. And again, this is a wonderful maple bun, a local maple bun called Momiji Mansu, and you'll have a chance to make these as well. What you see is Okonomiyaki, and we promise you that wherever you go in Japan, you will have an opportunity to taste the local traditional food. And as I say, this is the delicious okonomiyaki. It's not difficult to make, by the way. I've had a go at making it myself. I think there's a YouTube video somewhere of me making this. So if I can do it, I'm sure that most of you can as well. This is an area called Takayama up in the Japanese Alps. Really stunning, very different scenery. By the way, Japan is 75% mountainous, right? So that's why the cities are so heavily populated. Tokyo, population of about 37 million. So when you come out of the main cities, the countryside is absolutely stunning. And we will show you that countryside on the store without a question of a doubt. You will have, this is the castle, Matsumoto Castle, and you will have an opportunity on the store as well, of course, to see the wonderful Mount Fuji. But you're there for 21 days, so we want you to make the most of your time in Japan. You're going to be making sushi, by the way, and tasting sushi. You're going to be creating your own sort of sake cup and understand why that's important in Japanese culture. Of course, you won't leave without joining and being part of a tea ceremony and some wonderful kind of beautiful fans that the Japanese make as well. And then the tour finishes here in Sapporo before you fly back home. So you can see a really full-on tour where you will almost feel Japanese, if you like, by the time you leave. And we would hope that you would have learned some of the Japanese language as well, at least some of the phrases, to impress your friends when you get back. Now, Offbeat Japan. Offbeat Japan is one of two of our Go Beyond tours. What is a Go Beyond tour? Well, this is one of my favorite tours, actually, out of our program, because Go Beyond, there's a difference between classical and Go Beyond tours, right? So on a classical tour, the maximum number of customers joining is 24. On an Offbeat Japan tour, it's slightly smaller, it's 18. On a classical tour, everything is included, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. On a Go Beyond tour like this one, you have all your breakfast included, and dinners you got 4 dinners included as well. And what people have said to us is, look, I want to be able to be a bit more flexible, sample some of the sort of more local cuisine, if you like, and have an opportunity to go off potentially, maybe with some of the group, maybe on their own, just to try something else as well. So we enable you to do that on this particular tour. And again, that you can see on this tour that you are going to pick up Tokyo, you are going to go to Mount Fuji, you are going to go to Nagoya, for example, and so on and so forth, yeah? But this tour, for me, very much is about cultural experiences. It's about immersing yourself in the culture that is truly Japan. So yes, you will be, without a question of a doubt, beating some drums, if you like. You know, this is Shibuya, which is one of the busiest parts of Japan and Tokyo. You're going to have an experience at the robot restaurant. Robot restaurant, not so much about the food really, but very much about the robotic shows that you see when you're there. So this is very much about those unique experiences away from the comfort of your home. However, you're going to be rewarded with wonderful cultural interactions whilst you're there. We are going to go to see Mount Fuji, and we'll walk around the base of Mount Fuji. There are 10 stations in Mount Fuji, 3,776 meters. We're not going to climb to the top, no way, not on this tour anyway. And after that, we're going to head off to see the wonderful snow monkeys up in Yudanaka as well. So this tour really is it's a cultural tour. You're going to go to Takayama, and I think this is where the tour really sort of kicks off, really. So this is Takayama here. You're going to spend the night in a traditional ryokan with onsen facilities. This would be a typical kind of setup, if you like, for dinner. And again, I promise you that wherever you go in Japan, whichever part, if there's a regional dish, you will have the opportunity to taste that dish as well. You're going to do your tea ceremonies. As I say, these are away from the comforts of your home, is what I said earlier, because most of you sleep on a sort of a raised bed rather than this type of sort of a setup, if you like. Most of you, but not necessarily all of you. But you are going to have all the wonderful experiences Japan has to offer. So of course you're going to do the tea ceremonies. Now, again, one of the highlights for me on this tour is a visit to Koyasan. Koyasan is a very spiritual part of Japan, very spiritual area. And you're going to spend a night in a 13th century guest house here. You'll wake up early with the monks and you'll join them for morning prayer, reciting sort of different chants. It really is a magical experience and a spiritual experience as well. And of course, you'll do a walking tour of Koyasan. Expect the food to be vegetarian, by the way, it is in Koyasan. So again, you know, you're going to not only, it's not only about the sights and smells, but the food you're going to have is going to be typical and local to that particular area as well. So the last tour I want to talk about is Ancient Empires of China and Japan. And again, for those with more time, 20 days, this is a classical tour. So the price you see is the price you pay. Look at the value for money there, 6,690 per person, from 6,690 per person. And you'll have a chance on the same tour to kick off in China. You visit Beijing, you spend 2 nights to see the terracotta warriors, you head down to Guilin, again, stunning scenery, down the River Li. You spend a night in the 2,000-year-old city of Yangzhou, and then you head off to the more modern city of Shanghai, if you like. Still lots of history there, and with a beautiful cruise on the river as well. And then this is where you head off to Japan, and you can see the difference between the two countries. You know, yes, it's Asia, but any Asian country is very unique and very different to each other. So I would absolutely recommend this tour. Of course, there's so much to see in China. I have been so many times, different parts of the Great Wall. I love the Great Wall. I've been, I think, to about 8 or 9 parts of the Great Wall. So much to see. So if you really want to see China in its glory, if you like, then do take a separate tour to China with Wendy Wu Tours, where our own guides, employed, of course, by Wendy Wu, will be able to look after you from start to finish. So I'll finish with the stunning image of the Great Wall of China. It is a wonderful, wonderful country to visit as well. But today we have focused primarily on Japan, and I hope that you will join us on a tour to Japan. We've got plenty of other tours, by the way, to Japan, and I hope that you're able to join us in the party room after this main presentation. And hopefully we will share some more, give you some more details about the offers as well. So there you go, leaving you with some wonderful, stunning images of both China and Japan. And I look forward to speaking to you very soon. Thank you very much. Domo arigato ne.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a real privilege to be with you today. We hope you've enjoyed your travels in Japan and seeing the extraordinary cherry blossom just as much as we have. Wonderful to be connected, to see everyone, and to share with you all the exciting news about Japan, those amazing experiences, and of course, those fantastic cherry blossom offers. Just to recap, free business class flight upgrades on Japan Uncovered, plus heavily discounted business class upgrades on our other Japan tours, free economy flights, and half-price single supplements. But do remember, these are valid for travel in 2022 and 2023, and the offers are only available until the 14th of April. Wendy, what a great time we've had today.
Yes, and I hope everyone, you have enjoyed it as much as we did.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, we're coming up to the best part. Yes, you've waited and it's here now, the party room. This is where you're going to meet our expert team, including John and Peter. You're going to find out more about Japan, our tours, and those fantastic special offers. Plus, it is a party, so it's a great opportunity to mingle and meet many like-minded friends who simply love to travel. So now you'll see the party link on your screen. Just click the link and you're in. And because we want to see you, and this is really important, ladies and gentlemen, please switch on your video by clicking the video symbol at the bottom left of your screen. Don't worry, you're not going to be videoed, but what it does mean is that we will see you and all our friends will see you as well. And also do hit the mute button as well and unclick that when you want to ask a question. Remember, at any time throughout this, you can ask a question by using the Zoom chat facility as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for today, and we look forward to seeing you in the party room. See you there.
See you there.